Evening. Our November 8, 2018 Long Beach City Council meeting is now called to order. Tonight, our prayer and pledge will be led by Karis and Gage Vickery. Karis and Gage attend East Texas Christian School and are both National Honor Society members of the junior and senior levels. Karis is an 8th grader and Gage an 11th grader. Please stand.
Lord, we come before you today to ask for your guidance and blessing. We ask that you guide the City Council into making the right decisions, even if they may be hard or unpopular. We ask you to bless the City Council and the state of Texas and all of its citizens. And we ask you to keep us all safe.
Would you join me in the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you both so much for being here. Nice to see you all again. Tonight in our employee recognition, I'm going to recognize John Kiesler. The National Institute of Automotive Services Excellence was established in 1972 as a nonprofit organization to help improve the quality of automotive service and repair throughout the testing and certification. There are 250,000 ASC certified professionals that work throughout the country. Each year, ASC recognizes the best of the best in auto, truck, collision, parts, and service categories. We're very pleased to announce that John Kiesler, the City of Longview's fleet manager, has been named as Delco Remy's ASC Medium and Heavy Truck Electrical and Electronic Systems Technician of the Year. John was selected from all technicians that took the ASC test in the last year. The parameters set by Delco Remy for this award is the winner must have the highest passing score on the T6 medium and heavy truck electrical and electronic systems taken in any administration in the preceding 12 months. Delco Remy will fly John and his wife to Fort Lauderdale, Florida for an all-expense-paid trip where he will receive this prestigious award at their banquet on November the 14th. John? Is John here? Come on up. Yeah, John. Come on up. I thought I saw you sitting back there and I couldn't find you again. Hey, listen, you know what a great award this is, but what a great representation it is for the City of Longview to have our employees who stand up and stand out, day in and day out. You know, we're so blessed to have such a great group of individuals working for us, but you know, when you do things like this that bring recognition to the city and to your department, it says a lot for what you do, and I really appreciate what you're doing, buddy. Thank you very much. Thank you. Have fun at Fort Lauderdale. Thank you, sir. Okay, while I'm here, I have 2 more employee recognitions that I want to just quickly talk about. First off, Laura Hill in the public library did an amazing job at a birthday party that was auctioned off at our last year's Go Giver Gala. And let me tell you, from what I've heard, it'll be one of the best auction items again this year because you all went all out. You made an impression on people that have never even thought about going to the library for a party. Not just kids. Now I think we have adults that want to join in and have a party at the library. So hats off to our library staff who did an over and above job at helping and making that a really special event for a great cause last year for our Go Giver Gala. Laura, thank you to all your staff. Thank you very much. Very good. And next, to Mr. Roland McPhee. Ron did a thing last week that would really make all of us very proud. He was on Long Park. He was doing his normal jogging 17,000 miles a day. And he noticed an individual on the park that might have been up to not having the best intentions. And Rollins stopped while he saw a lady who was jogging alone to make sure the lady got past that individual without any harm or anything that took place. And then he went on about his business and figured he was unnoticed. And that takes a lot of courage to do that, number one, but it says a lot about what you do and what you are. By the way, that lady was my wife. So I appreciate that a lot. Thank you very much. Now, in our community recognition tonight, I'm so excited to bring before you my next two Go Giver Gala nominees. Joyce Brown Williams. Come on up, Miss Joyce. And Mr. Chuck King. Come on up, Chuck. Come on up.
Thank you.
Hey, buddy. And they have no idea they're here for this, which is so wonderful. Now, Chuck and Joyce will join our other two Go Giver individuals, which is Miss Janice Canyon and Mr. Keith Honey. So our Go Givers this year are these four individuals, and I couldn't be more proud and pleased that we have such quality people in our community to be able to honor and that stand out and give back to our community. Joyce, I have all this stuff to read. Joyce started when she was age 16, working for the Ark of Gray County. She standout athlete at Longview High School. By the way, we graduated high school together, just so y'all know that. Yes, we did.
No, he wasn't graduating.
I know she looks a whole lot younger than I do, but we did graduate together. Joyce has gone on to do so many wonderful things, and I will go over all this at our Go Giver Gala, but she's the heart and soul of our Boys and Girls Clubs here in Piney Woods of East Texas. She takes care of these kids. She makes sure that they have places to go, that they do the right thing, they stay out of trouble. And there's no better gift to our community than what Joyce gives back every single day, and she does with such a wonderful heart, a kindness that will never, ever go unnoticed. So, Joyce, you deserve this as much as anyone ever has because of your passion.
Oh, thank you, Randy.
You know I love you, girl. She's awesome. We'll go over more. You'll have to come to the Go Giver Gala to hear all the things that Joyce has done. And I can't even take the time to read all that Chuck King has done. This is like 17 pages of, he's Mr. Everything. Chuck has been such an advocate of our community. When you think of a giver, his name is right there, the picture's beside that. And Chuck has done everything. Every organization that comes up that needs something, Chuck King and Chick-fil-A are there. They are corporate partners, they're city partners, they're community partners, they're school partners. They're everywhere, and that's what Chuck does. He's remodeled 2 stores in this community, which is a big expense. And I'm going to tell you a story at the Go Giver Gala that'll tell you why he's my Go Giver. So you need to come so you can get these stories because they're going to be really, really interesting things. But I'm just so pleased to have you two joining our other two because this is going to be a wonderful evening and a wonderful celebration for the City of Longview. Thank you all both for what you do. Appreciate you, my friends. Thank you. Let's get to it.
And Chuck was our champion for youth in 2013.
I got about 1 million things that Chuck is. Yeah, hold on, Joyce. Come up here. Come here. Come here. Sit between me and Chuck. Get a picture. Right here.
Man, I'm thankful.
Yes, you are. Okay. Okay, where was I? My agenda went somewhere. Here it is. We are now to citizen comment. I have one speaker card, Mr. Jeremiah Hunter.
Jeremiah Hunter, 314 East Twilight Drive. I imagine there's some people that thought that I would not be here tonight. They would be wrong. I'm here with my head held high. I am speaking mostly on behalf of myself, but also on the group of people that I was privileged to work with to urge our fellow citizens to vote no on the Longview bond that happened Tuesday night. And so I'm just here to put a closing statement on that vote. We're not going to be here beating a dead horse because the results are what they were. But I first want to thank the more than 6,000 people who voted against the bond. Thank you for recognizing that we need responsible budgeting to move our city forward, not just a bunch of throwing a bunch of money around. And second, as I just said, I want to say how proud I am of the group of engaged citizens. It was really only a handful of us, but we all came together from different backgrounds, different positions on the ideological spectrum, but we recognized that this plan as presented was just simply not good for Longview. So we came together to urge our fellow citizens to say, not this bond, not this plan, not at this time. While we did not get the result we wanted, we did open a lot of eyes. And frankly, there's more to come. So going forward, you members of this council who will be overseeing the issue of these bonds for the next couple of years, and any future members, assuming there is some turnover, I need to urge you, be very mindful of your activities. There's a lot of people watching what you do, so just keep that in mind. So that's all I had to say on that. I believe I have a few seconds left, so I just wanted to actually thank Officer Sheridan of the Longview Police Department, who very kindly stopped me on the loop last night and let me know that my headlight was out. He was very nice about it. I have an older car, so things break on it, and he was actually protecting and serving. I was on the loop, nice bright lights. I couldn't tell my headlight had burned out. He stopped me and said, "Hey, sir, your headlight's out." And instead of writing me a ticket, which he had full authority to do, he just gave me a nice warning and said, "Have a nice night." So I went over to AutoZone, got a new headlight. So if anybody thinks that I'm somehow against law enforcement, not at all. Have a good night.
I have no more speaker cards. Would anybody else like to speak and fill out a card after the meeting? Very good. Public safety update. Chief Bishop.
Mayor Mack, council members, Mr. Bonds, thanks for allowing me to give you a little update today. I know y'all are looking at we'll get to this in a little bit.
Look at Stillman.
I'd like to start out by giving a shout out to a group that was formed a couple of years ago, East Texas Blue. This is a group that Mark Atkinson, Carmela Davis, Nate, and Kenny Mobbs formed to raise money to be able to donate to the police department for equipment and training. Last month they did just that. I know today we see a lot in the media about active shooters and some of the mass casualties that are occurring. We had the unique opportunity to bring in an instructor named Jason Long, who has a long history in high-risk operations. And this group paid for Mr. Long to come in and work for 3 days with our tactical unit. They were 3 10-hour days. They paid all his expenses, the training, and really helped us raise our training up a little bit to be able to have this high caliber of an individual come in and train our tactical officers. So I want to publicly thank them for what they did in raising this money and getting donations to be able to pay for this type of training. So I wanted to thank them. Also last month we graduated our 27th Citizens Police Academy. This is an academy for citizens to come learn more about the police department. This was our 27th year of doing this. We had 17 graduates in this police academy. And a good thing about this academy is we recruited several of these individuals to come on and be part of our Citizens on Patrol. So after learning more about the department and the things that we offer, they wanted to give back and volunteer, so they're going to work with our Citizens on Patrol and do some of the things that you see them doing out there in the community. We're full swing into our Blue Santa program that we do every year in assisting families with gifts for children at Christmas time. Last year we were able to assist 33 families and reached out to 94 children through those families. Last year's drive we were able to get donations and spend over $8,000 for gifts for families that were having a hard time and needed some assistance so that their children could have a Christmas. So anybody that's interested in donating to this program can go to longviewtexas.gov/Blue Santa, and the information will be there to make donations, or they can contact Officer Misty Ryan at 903-331-2541. And any help and assistance will be greatly appreciated, and we'll have several events that will be coming up that we'll advertise through our social media platforms. I want to thank South Ward. Last month, they invited us down to come and participate in part of their career day. We were able to have some officers go down with some of our equipment and spend some time with the children down there, talk to them about law enforcement and some of the things that we do. And it was a great opportunity, again, to get in front of some of our students and talk to them about the job that we do. I'd like to recognize 3 of our police lieutenants, Lieutenant Russell Washburn, Lieutenant Kevin Freeman, and Lieutenant Paul Hickey. Each one of these individuals just completed a 10-week management command college that's put on through the Law Enforcement Management Institute of Texas through Sam Houston State University. This is a state funded program. It was paid for by the state. It was broken down over 10 weeks. There was 4 different modules, and they were gone for 3 weeks at a time over a period of time. And all 3 of them have completed the program, and want to congratulate them for the hard work that they put in to get through this command college. It's not an easy venture to go through. So there was a lot of growing pains, but I want to congratulate them for completing the course and representing our department in the fashion that they did. Last year, we had the opportunity to participate in the first annual celebrity softball tournament at LeTu University as a fundraiser for their athletic department. This was the second year. If you remember last year, we lost to the fire department by a very small margin. And this year, we were able to turn that around and come back with a trophy for the celebrity softball tournament that they had down there. So I want to thank LeTu and Chief Steelman for allowing us to participate again this year. And I know the officers had a great time. I want to thank them for the time and effort that they've spent over the last year preparing for this day. So.
Was that a small or a large margin this year?
Oh, so you want to know what the score was?
I'm asking what the score was.
I'm glad somebody asked. I think it was 25-4
I saw that.
was the final score. So I want to thank Chief
Congratulations.
Steelman. And I don't know, today one of our citizens sent something to my office. I don't know. I think, anyways, they asked me to go ahead and present this to the fire chief. And I have a little trophy here, presented to LFD for surviving the 2018 LPD whooping. So I'm going to give this to Chief Steelman. And do you have any questions?
Any
I'll be
questions, Chief Bishop?
Glad to answer them.
Thank you, Chief.
All right, thank you.
Congratulations. Chief Steelman.
Mayor Mack, members of council, Mr. Bonds, thanks for the opportunity to update you on what the fire department's been working on for pretty much the last month. Of course, as you know, October, we really focus on fire prevention in our community. And while a lot of the emphasis is put on the kids in our community, we do take time to educate adults. Here's an example of us training some Centerpoint Energy employees on how to properly use a portable fire extinguisher. And you can imagine in their line of work, that's pretty important, the fact that they're dealing with natural gas most of their day. So great opportunity. They were a great crowd, and we certainly appreciate the ability to go out there and train with them. Our fire department's very fortunate that we have a lot of different specialty functions that we participate with and that we're able to accomplish because of the investment that the city and the COG region and different other entities have put into our department. Here's an example of where our fire department was able to go up to the Lake of the Pines water intake and assist our public works department with some issues that they're having up on the intake structure. Our dive team was able to go up there and provide some dive functionality to help them in the water figure out some of the issues that they may be having up there so they can get a better idea of what's in front of them for repair. So we're certainly happy to be able to utilize these assets, and especially not an emergency situation, but just a normal everyday operation. It gives our guys a good opportunity to practice and train with their equipment. Alpha Delta Kappa. This is a local group of retired teachers in the community that provided food a couple of weeks back for a lot of our crews at our fire stations. Just want to give them a quick shout and tell them how much we appreciate them thinking of us and making the station rounds and making some of these guys happy. We recently held a promotional ceremony where we officially recognized the promotion of Lieutenant Adam Deary and fire driver Jacob Leckins. So congratulations to both of those men as they take on new responsibility in our department and help keep us moving forward. Our Fire Marshal, Kevin May, recently completed the Texas Fire Chiefs Academy. He's just the next one of our chief officers in a long line that are going through this program to better educate themselves on what it's like to be a chief and the responsibilities that go with that of helping run the fire department. Lewis Morgan No. 4 held their Flu Fall Fest back a couple of weeks ago on a Saturday. It was a great day by all. This is actually a little bit of a fundraising effort to get some more ballistic equipment for the fire department, but it gave a great opportunity to interact with the different patrons there in that shopping center, and it was just a fun time had by all. We got to do a lot of equipment demonstrations and just interact with a lot of different activities that were going on out there that day. So thanks to them for always being a great supporter of the fire department. And back to our fire prevention, now that October's behind us, I just wanted to throw that 3,500 plus number. That's the number of children that we reach in our community just by going to the schools, doing puppet shows, doing truck demos, doing station tours. And unfortunately, if you saw the news today, there was two children died in a structure fire in the next county over in Russ County. So that just drives home the fact for us of why this is so important to get this fire prevention and fire safety message out in our community to keep our children safe here locally. Yeah, the softball game didn't quite go the way we wanted. These guys put on the third inning. They put on a hitting clinic where they scored about 14 runs, and we were talking police brutality over in our dugout. I mean, it just got ugly from there. But it was a great game. These guys they've obviously been practicing, and we look forward to next year. It's certainly going to be a great to see what comes around this time next year. So, congratulations to PD and Chief Bishop for spanking us a little bit. This week we've been hosting the East Texas Arson Conference here in Longview. We've had about 125 arson investigators from all across the state coming in to share information and get a certain degree of training to help them go back and do their jobs better in their community. So this has been an annual conference, so we're the 35th, so we're actually glad to keep this process going and look forward to next year. Our EMS subscription program is up and running. We encourage our citizens to take advantage of this. They can find out more about it by going to longviewtexas.gov/EMS. And as always, our Code Red emergency notification system is available to all of our citizens, and we just hope that they take advantage of that to know what kind of conditions may be out there in times of severe weather or extreme conditions. And with that, I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any questions of Chief Stillman? Thank you, Chief.
Thank you, Mayor.
We're now on the consent agenda. Any items council like pulled off for separate discussion?
I have a question for Chief Stillman on item B.
Okay.
Chief, I don't want people to just think we're out collecting $100,000 grants and just spending them for the sake of it. Could you explain what you're spending that money on?
So this is actually the second part of a equipment replacement process for our special operations team. If you guys will remember back in April of this year, we came to you asking to apply for a grant through the Homeland Security Council that's managed by the East Texas Council of Governments over in Kilgore, to fund the replacement of 2 of our special operations equipment trailers. We have 2 trailers. One is designed for technical rescue. The other one is designed for hazmat. So this is just an ongoing replacement. We're trying to change out some of our older rolling stock to get more reliable, more user-friendly equipment. As our equipment cache has upgraded, our vehicles that carry this equipment has not. So we found ourselves outgrowing our capabilities. So this program allows us to get newer equipment that will accommodate all of our needs as far as maintaining our special operations functions.
Very good, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Move to approve.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Now to zoning, a public hearing to consider application PD 18-08. Ms. Choi.
Thank you, Mayor Mack, members of council, Mr. Bonds. This is a public hearing for a request made by an applicant, Clefrecia Rogers, to rezone property from single-family 5 to planned development to allow for an event center, a church, or office. The applicant originally submitted an application to rezone this property to heavy commercial. Due to some comments that were made by citizens at Planning and Zoning Commission, the applicant did resubmit a request to rezone this property to a plan development to allow for just those 3 specific uses. The building was previously used as an administration office for LISD, as well as a church and offices. All uses allowed in single-family zoning. Staff does recommend approval of this request. I'd be happy to answer any questions at this time.
This does require a public hearing, which is now open. Any speakers on this matter? Any questions of Ms. Choi? Public hearing is now closed. Is there a motion?
Make a motion, we approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item B, a public hearing held to consider application PD 18-09. Ms. Choi.
Thank you. The applicant is requesting to rezone approximately 6.8 acres of abstract 186 of the D. Sanchez survey from agriculture to planned development for single-family detached homes. The purpose of this planned development is to allow for smaller lot sizes, along with smaller lot width and depths and smaller setbacks. The applicant is proposing to construct a residential subdivision with 19 lots, 4 single-family detached homes. These lots will have a minimum lot size of 5,000 square feet, minimum height of 2.5 stories, a minimum lot size of 1,200 square feet. The site plan does show a front setback from the property line of 25 feet in the front, rear 10 foot, and side setback of 5 feet. The proposed street will be a public street with sidewalks along both sides of the street. This portion of George Ritchie Road is maintained by TxDOT and is a principal arterial roadway. No access will be allowed from these residential lots onto George Ritchie Road. They will access the public roadway with that cul-de-sac. Staff finds that the proposed zoning change is consistent with the future land use map and surrounding uses. Planning and Zoning Commission, along with staff, recommends approval of this request. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
This requires a public hearing, which is now open. Any speakers?
I do have a question for Mr. Alston. Would you like to describe the type houses that you're planning to put in here?
Sure, yeah.
Good morning, or good evening. Yeah, so basically what Ms. Choi described was the plan development minimum requirements that we submitted with the plan development. And really the reason for that was because that most closely matched maybe an SF4 zoning, which we couldn't get to based on the lot size, but it's pretty close to that. The 1,000 square foot house is probably not close to what we'd put there. The lot size and shapes dictate probably a little bit larger house. We're looking probably 1,600 square feet, and just the economics of that area and the development probably are going to dictate a house in the 160 to 200 range. So this is not tiny houses, not small houses, it's not low-income houses. It's a nice brick 2-car subdivision that we think will be a real benefit to, one, the development on George Ritchie Road, Spring Hill School, and the city of Longview.
Okay, well, thank you. Okay. I don't have any questions.
Any other questions of Ms. Choi? Public hearing is now closed.
Well, I had a lot of comments today from citizens of Spring Hill. And what I would like to do, the builders have agreed to meet at a community meeting with the citizens of Spring Hill. And so what I would like to move is that we postpone voting on this until our next council meeting.
Is there a motion?
Yes, I'm
Is there a
making that
second?
motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Item C, consider a request filed by Michael Medford to abandon a portion of 20-foot wide sewer easement located at 617 Clinic Drive. Ms. Choi.
Thank you. The applicant is requesting to abandon a portion of a 20-foot wide sanitary sewer easement located off Clinic Drive. The applicant is relocating this sanitary sewer line and really has already relocated this line and will dedicate a new sewer line to the east of this current easement. The reason for this relocation is to accommodate for the development of an apartment complex located here at the end of Clinic Drive. All public utility companies and city staff have reviewed and have signed off on this proposed abandonment. Staff does recommend approval of this request. I'd be happy to answer any questions at this time.
This does require a public hearing, which is now open. Anyone have any questions of Ms. Choi? Any speakers on this issue? Public hearing is now closed.
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We're now out of community interest. Mr. Moore.
I have a number of items, Mayor. First and foremost, I want to thank everybody that took the time to vote for the bond election. I think the results validate the community's efforts over the last 5 years to build Longview's legacy and move us forward into a new and improved community. Second, last chance, food for fines. I've talked about this the last couple of meetings. The public library is sponsoring an effort to pay off any library fines you might have with a 12-ounce box of food or canned good, $1 for each item that you donate. This is all part of our annual food drive, which will take place on November the 19th, where the items will be boxed up and deliveries will be made on November 20th. Both of these together are annual affairs to help the less fortunate in the time of Thanksgiving and the holidays. Next, 2020 is Longview's sesquicentennial, and we've been working on celebrating that fact through a group called Longview 150. I am pleased to announce we have T-shirts. This is a picture of O.H. Methvin, and there is a quote at the bottom, and the quote says, "Dude, that's a long view." I'm not sure the quote is completely accurate given the historical context, but these items are going fast, and I guarantee you before long they will be collector's items. They're being sold for $20 at our library and at the Great County Historical Museum, and for you all, I'm passing these out. These are all extra large, but you can get them exchanged.
Thank you, Mr. Moore.
Last but not least, on October 27th, Gunnery Sergeant Danny White, USMC, passed away at age 80. For over 40 years since his retirement from the Corps, he was deeply involved in Veterans Affairs and helping veterans in our local community. He was also a frequent sight in his dress blues at civic functions, military functions, patriotic functions. He did a lot for this community and the veterans of this community. I met him about 37 years ago, and when I told him I was a Vietnam veteran, the first words out of his mouth were, "Welcome home, brother." And ever since that time, when I encounter Vietnam veterans, I too welcome them home. I obviously tell you this story because Sunday is Veterans Day, and I would urge every one of us to thank a veteran for their service protecting our country, and ask that we pray for the active duty men and women, particularly those that are currently in harm's way, and pray for their safe return to their families. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Moore. Ms. Snoddy had to leave because of a family illness. Can we please excuse her?
Excused.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion approved. Mr. Ray.
I don't have much today to report. I also would like to acknowledge everyone that came out during the elections on the 6th. The turnout was amazing. I think the city moves forward when everyone's involved, and having everyone to come out and vote, the numbers that did come out and vote, and everyone that got involved for or against city elections and city voting is a plus for everyone. So I'd just like to acknowledge that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. White. Mrs. Yahara.
Along the same line, some of the questions have been and should be So the bonds, all three of them passed, now what? What happens now? And so as we put out information during that process, of course, we're not going to receive all the funds at one time, so that means not all of the projects will start immediately. So the next step in the process is getting some information and then an opportunity for public input on how we will prioritize and place those projects. So all of you are welcome to a public meeting on Thursday, November 29th at 5:30 at Mod Cobb. This will be a comprehensive plan committee meeting at which we'll look at and make some recommendations and receive some information about how to kind of prioritize those projects, how they will happen, when they will happen, and how they will be funded. So that's your time for public input. If you want to just come and learn, you're welcome. If you want to come and talk about a project that you want to make sure is first on the list, we welcome your feedback. You're welcome to provide that directly to your council person or come to that person in meeting and provide that input there. But all are welcome to attend, and I hope to see you there.
Mr. Wright.
Well, I'd like to second, I appreciate everybody getting out to vote. It was a fantastic turnout, and it was great to see that. Also, I want to thank everybody for calling today and giving me their opinions about the zoning item we discussed with Alston's tonight, and I appreciate you guys being here tonight. It was good to have everybody's input, and I do need to apologize. One lady called, and I think I was a little bit short with her, and if she is watching or if she is here tonight, I would like to apologize for being like that with her.
Thank you, Mr. Wright. Mr. Pirtle.
I too would like to thank everybody for going through the process. I took some good hits and some bad hits on this thing, and I appreciate both sides of it. It worked. It worked like it's supposed to work. You may not always agree with it at the end of it, but it worked like it was supposed to work, and that's what we put it out there for. The council put it out there for the citizens to let it work like it was supposed to. I also want to thank Chief Stillman for the fire department on the chili cook-off. I heard I was a pig, so but it was good. Anyway, that's all.
Thank you, Mr. Bonds. Okay. Longview Green and Clean is a partnership between the City of Longview Recycling Program and Keep Longview Beautiful. The next event is 8 a.m. to noon this Saturday, November 10th at Lear Park. Recycle electronics, tires, batteries, eyeglasses, glass, motor oil, and antifreeze. Learn more at longviewtexas.com/LGG. You know what? I get so many questions, literally weekly, that say, can we recycle glass? Can we recycle this or that? And my answer is usually, I'm not really sure. I think we can at some points, but we can't all the time. And so it's really nice that we have this ability to come out and do the things. I guarantee if you bring it out there, we're going to dispose of it. We're going to take care of it. So this is the time to come out and do that. And I appreciate Longview Recycling Program and Keep Longview Beautiful for doing this. Green and Clean, they're doing a great job. City of Longview also will be closed for Thanksgiving on Thursday, November 22nd and Friday, November 23rd. Thursday's trash and recycle will be collected on Friday, November 23rd, so have a great holiday. Upcoming events. There's several upcoming events throughout Longview. Zonda's Ultimate Tailgate Party is this Saturday, November 10th from 2 to 6 p.m. Look forward to food, fun, drinks, and most importantly, football on the big screen at the Green. Tickets are available at zontalongview.clubexpress.com. What football game? Didn't say. Who? OSU and OU. Okay, thank you. Oklahoma State and Oklahoma. That'll be a good game. Very good. Longview High School's Honor America Night is a night for honoring our military veterans for the Big Green Marching Machine, Majorettes, VUS, ROTC, and the middle school bands. This Saturday, November 10th, event ends with a large fireworks show over Lobo Stadium. Tickets are available at the door. If you've never been to that, you should go. It is a fantastic tribute to our veterans, but it is amazing to see those kids out on that football field in that stadium. It will absolutely blow you away. And the fireworks display is fantastic at the end. So it's really a great event. You should go and see if you haven't been there before. Newgate Mission's Gobble Wobble 5K is 9 a.m. on Saturday, November 17th at the Loop entrance on Paul G. Borman Trail. Come runner, watch the finishers, enjoy a food truck fare from Mikasita, Divine Catering, Smoothie King, and Chick-fil-A. For information, visit newgatemission.org. Longview Community Christmas tree lighting at Heritage Plaza on November 18th will kick off the holiday event season. Come downtown from 5 to 8 p.m. and enjoy Christmas caroling, carriage rides, cookies, cider, candy canes, and of course Santa and his elves. For information on any of these events, please check out the calendar at visitlongviewtexas.com, or for city events, visit longviewtexas.gov/calendar. Also, the Christmas parade, we didn't get that on here, did we?
December 6th.
December the 6th. So we won't have another meeting before the Christmas parade, will we? I didn't think we would. So the Christmas parade is December 6th at 6 o'clock downtown. That's always a great event. Please come out and support all those people that put so much time and effort into the floats and the decorations and the festivities. And I know I enjoy that. I can't wait to be there again this year, so I'm looking forward to it. And looks like it should be another great time. Survey time. With the midterm elections behind us, what percentage of registered voters in Longview would you guess voted in this election? Okay, let me tell you first of all, I'm pretty sure my math is right. I think there's like 44,000 registered voters in Longview. Isn't that about right? 44,000? Okay, I'll way lost on this one. I mean, because typically in our elections, if we have 9,000 to 10,000 people voting, that's a pretty good percentage in for voting in our community. We had 18,000 people vote. So obviously the answer is 25+%, which 56% of the people got that. It kind of cheated because they kind of knew the answer after the election was over with. I didn't really think that through really well, you know. I didn't think it through, and we have people that are smart. We got more votes the last 2 days who did the first day, the first few days combined. So, but it was still a really good turnout, and it's nice to see that trend, because what you really want is the majority of the people making decisions for the majority of the community, and that's what the goal of that is. So everybody that voted, it's a great thing, and I appreciate the taking time to do that. Okay, for fun, did you remember to change your alarm clock on Saturday p.m. for daylight savings time? Yes, no, or luckily my phone changed automatically. Now, when you see the results of this, it's going to really, if you think, that's why I do these surveys, because I get a lot of information out of this. We'll show the results. 56% forgot. Only 1% said no, and 43% said my phone changed automatically, which means we are so reliant upon our dadgum cell phones, it's unbelievable for everything. Because I guarantee if the cell phone didn't change automatically, that 56% would have been 99%, because only 1% said they remembered to do it. Isn't that crazy? So, well, I thought it was fun. I personally remembered, so because that's important to me. But that was good. So this has been a good meeting, a good week. And once again, I do appreciate everyone that came out and voted in this election and voted for what you want to see happen in your city. And I just had to make one comment. And Ms. Turner, I appreciate you coming and speaking tonight. It's always nice to have you in council chambers. We never oppose anyone coming to speak. But understand, we don't listen to just 6,000 people. We listen to about 90,000 people. This council is responsible for the entire community. We're responsible to everyone that votes and lives in this community. And so we're here to perform the desires and wishes of what the majority tell us to do, and that's what we shall do. And so we hope everybody watches what we do, because that's what they're supposed to be doing. That's why you've put us up here to manage the city. So we count on everyone's opinion to tell us what to do, and that's why we're here. So I appreciate the input, appreciate the attendance, and until we meet again, this meeting is adjourned.